Hello, all of my crafty friends. Thank you so much for joining me back on my channel today. Welcome to Pretty Pink Craft Room. We are doing the part 2 of our single signature mini journal. We did part 1 in a previous video, and if you missed it, I will definitely link it in the description box. And so we're back to finish up this project together. I want to say thank you to everyone who took the time to like, comment, and subscribe to the previous video. I greatly appreciate all of your support and all of you for taking the time to come back again and join us in another video, another crafty video, or join me in another crafty video. So without further delay, let's go ahead and get into the project. So if you remember from the previous video, we started just the cover of this mini journal. We did the hinges. We just poked the holes and put the brads in. I did a little bit of decoration for the front cover. I didn't want to do too much because I love the way this cover looks on its own. So I just added an applique, a ribbon, and a flower that I had in my stash here. I added some lace on the side there, and that's all I'll do to the cover because, as I said, I really like it the way it stands right now. So in the inside, you may remember that last time I added the paper here. I added paper here. Again, that's more of that lace. And then on this side, we did this hidden journal spot. I did add a tag, and I add some lace and some flowers. So we are going to finish this out today together. We're going to be using these papers. I showed you these papers last time, so I won't go through them again. But I wanted to do some decorating with you, basically using some envelopes. So I pulled some envelopes out, and I wanted us to decorate and use these envelopes for several pages inside of the journal together, and see how it comes together, and then also add it actually into the base of the journal, adding it to these brads here. So the first envelope, and I just put it in here so that I could make myself a marker of where I wanted it to be. So I want to go ahead and place it on the back side of this pink paper. So what I did was I took just a regular mailer envelope, and I just laid it on the paper and gauged where I wanted to fold it at. So I can certainly give you measurements of this, but again, I just laid it here and decided where did I want to fold this at, because my thought is to make a pocket here and a pocket up top, and just use the envelope as the base of those pockets. So I'll go ahead and give you the measurements just in case that may help you a little bit. So this envelope measures 3 7/8 by 8 7/8. So and the fold, the fold is at 3 3/4. So definitely use whatever you have available to you in your mailers, in your stash. If you're keeping envelopes, if you have them and you want to use them for this project, please go ahead and do that. So again, I just folded it. I eyeballed it where I wanted that pocket to be, the bottom pocket versus the top pocket, and made my fold line there. So I'm going to cut a sliver off of this part of the envelope and this part of the envelope. So let me go ahead and bring out my cutting board and do that. So I'll set this to the side, move this out of the way as well, and bring out my cutting board. Okay, so again, I'm just going to take, it's about 1/8, actually a little bit less than 1/8 of an inch, maybe a 1/16 of an inch. This is how little I've taken off of it, and I'm going to do that to the top as well. Okay, so now that I've cut that off, I have an opening here, and I have an opening here. And I'm just going to add paper and cover all of this up. I'm going to glue this flap down and add the paper to both sides. I don't need to add paper to the back because of course that won't be seen, but I'll add paper to the other pieces there. So let's go ahead and do that. So since we have our envelope prepared with our pockets inside, I'm going to pull in some papers that we can use to cover up the envelope. And what I did was I measured the width of the envelope to match the paper. I measured the width of the envelope and measured the paper to match it. However, the length of it, I added a little bit more because I wanted some of that paper to go over the top of the pocket to kind of reinforce it and give it that fold over clean look. Now, if you choose to do that, just an added tip that you may want to angle the edges, it kind of makes it fold inside the pocket a little easier. So let's go ahead and glue that down. So I'm just going to start by just gluing the tab part of this down into the pocket. And set that up and give it a moment to dry, like so. And if you notice, I have also given myself a little bit at the bottom here. And that is because this writing on the envelope, I didn't want that to show up anywhere. So I'm going to try to make sure I fold that over. Trying to massage the paper a little bit to fold it over. So that that part is not showing. And when I'm ready to glue this down, you don't see any evidence of that black writing there. So let me go ahead and glue all of this down to the face of the envelope here. And then I'm going to add some to this lip here and try to give that a moment to settle. I may add some clips. I think I should just go ahead and add some clips to it to make sure it sets there for a while. So I did pause the video so that I could go ahead and put the paper down. I feel like if I don't pause and do some things to speed up the process, we might be here for a very long time. And I don't want to keep you that long. So all I did was add paper to the front. This is just some scrap paper. It won't be seen. It just adds more firmness to the envelope itself. The paper here, this will not be seen either. I'm actually going to glue this down, and actually it'll create another pocket here that I could add something to too. So I'm just going to add some glue on the sides here and the bottom, and seal this shut. And I do have some tags here that I'm going to add into the project. So this tag goes here, and then this tag goes into that bottom pocket that we created. Let's get that inside. Okay. All right, perfect. And so if bringing back in our project again, this is where we wanted this to house itself, was right here on this pink page. And I think that looks great. Again, it was just an envelope that we used to create that double pocket look here. So let's move to the next envelope and see how we can put that together too. So here is our next envelope that we're going to use, and we're going to, when we're done putting it together, we're going to add it to this page. This is just a coffee dyed paper page that I added some stenciling on. You can kind of see it, hopefully, a little bit of the stenciling there. So what I found in my envelope stash is I found this rather long envelope, and really it's just about using whatever you have. If you have a long envelope, use that. If not, don't worry about it. I would just recommend just using whatever you may have on hand. So all I did was I took this envelope, set it on the page, and again, kind of eyeballed where I would need to fold in order for it to fit on the page. So I had to fold it a couple times to determine what actually would fit, and this was the measurements that it fit. So I will give you the measurements in case you'd like to have them. So this envelope is actually, looks like 10 1/4 by 5. And so my first flap I folded at 3 1/4, and then on the right that is folded at 3 3/8. So that's all folded together like so, and it will sit on the page like this. So I did go ahead and find some papers that I wanted to use for it. So we can go ahead and add those papers on here. I have already cut them down to size just so to save a little bit of time. I'm going to go ahead and apply them onto the envelope and then meet you right back here with those papers applied. Okay. So we are back. Full disclosure, it has been many days since I filmed the first half of this video. I had every intention of completing it and getting the video uploaded for everyone. But of course, you know, sometimes life gets in the way and what you plan does not actually come about. And so you end up getting a little bit delayed. So I apologize for not getting this video up sooner. But let's go ahead and finish with our project. So in the last segment, we had worked on this trifold envelope that I had in my stash, and you saw me that I had folded it, and I told you that I would just be applying some paper onto it, and that's what I did. I applied paper onto the inside as well as the outside, and then I found some tags that I want to go ahead and insert into it as well. So I'll just put those in. I made those tags previously, so they're just going to get inserted here in the pockets. And then this is the last one. So this one will also go into our journal. And let's see. There we go. Okay, I thought. And so that folds over just like that. And that's our project right there. Okay, so the last envelope project that I wanted to do before we get to inserting our pages was a little booklet that I wanted to add to the back cover here. I already added a belly band here. I put some lace behind the belly band, made some room here, and so I want to make a little booklet to go inside of the project. That will be our last envelope project that we do together, and then we should be able to assemble all of our pages together. To make our booklet for the back of the project where the belly band is, I have taken another envelope, and I just folded that envelope in half. I will crease it down here. So I just folded the envelope in half, and my plan is to make this a little booklet. So I'm going to cover the front, cover the inside, cover the back, and insert paper inside. So the first thing I will do is, let me move this over. The first thing I'll do is go ahead and glue down this flap because we don't need it. Just taking a stick of glue to glue that down. We won't need that flap at all. And then I have cut some paper to size to go on the front cover. And again, just as I mentioned previously, I cut off a little bit more so that I could cover those edges to make them cleaner. So I cut off enough so that I could cover the front and the side edge, and it would still cover the front of that envelope. So all I'm going to do right now is just angle these cuts a little bit so that they lay a little bit better. Just a little sliver off of it. Okay, so let's move all that out of the way. So again, it could be a window envelope. It could not be a window envelope. It really doesn't factor in because we are covering the envelope completely. So I'm going to cover the front here. Then I'm going to cover the back and the inside part of it as well. and then I will show you how to insert those pages on the inside. So I have added the paper onto the envelope, and this is what it looks like now. I've added paper to the front, the back, and the inside, and I kind of inked the edges as well. Again, you guys, I hope that none of you are offended by the fact that I don't let you see that part. I am trying to cut out some things that, you know, might be completely understandable and not need to be seen, and focus more on showing you the technique of the project as opposed to the decorating part. But I do realize that some of you want to see some of the decorating. I'm just trying to keep the video to at least 30 minutes. So enough babbling. It'll probably be over 30 minutes anyway. So my efforts may be in vain. But as I said, this is the tablet that the tablet cover we created out of the envelope. These are just some coffee dyed papers. I did some lined papers and some plain paper. It's about 6 sheets here that I cut down to size, rounded the edges, and all I'm going to do is insert these into the project like so. And actually, I would like to ink some more of the edges, the inside of the booklet here. So let me go ahead and add some more ink to that part, because it will be shown a bit too. And I think I need to add more glue to hold down the center spine as well. So let me do that as well. Okay. And then I'll add a little bit more glue. Hopefully my glue won't give me any issues. And I'll be able to add that on. So as I insert the paper, I just want to position it, center it exactly where I want it to be. So I'm centering it here, and this is where I want it to lay inside of the booklet. So I'm just going to clip it down, because we're just going to do an easy hole punch and some ribbon to keep it all together. So this truly is a no sewing journal video. There's truly no sewing. So let me replace that to the outside. So I'm holding the entire booklet together with these clips to keep it all in place, and I'm just going to punch holes using my hole puncher and eyelet here. Should be strong enough to punch between all of the layers. So let's see how that works. And I did measure it so that I would be doing the same amount from the top as well as the bottom. Okay, perfect there. And then let's try this way and make sure we're all set. Just want to make sure it's even and steady as best as I can. Perfect. So now all I'm going to do is I'm going to add some eyelets here. I'm going to put the eyelets in there and then secure them in using the same hole puncher, and then we'll have our booklet all together. So let me get that in. Secure that down, and then do the next one. Oh boy, I think I did that one a little bit bad. So let me go ahead and take that out and replace it, because I must have pushed the button too in the wrong way. So one moment, let me replace this eyelet. Okay, so the eyelet is back. The correct eyelet that has not been damaged is back in the project. And so all I'm going to do is feed some ribbon through this on both ends. Super simple project, right, you guys? Especially if you're not in the mood for sewing, Of course, all of this can be done by sewing. It would look beautiful sewn, but I was just trying to give you guys some other options of what you could do in case you're not inclined for sewing. So let me just even this out. Okay. And then I'm just going to tie, and let's see, do I want a bow or do I just want a knot? Don't really know. Let's see how it looks. I think I just want a knot. I don't think I want a bow. I think I just want a knot. So let's just do a knot and tie this all together. Okay, perfect. And then I will just turn the ribbons so that you can see the polka dots on both ends. All right, so, and then we will cut off the tails. I really cut too much of this ribbon. I don't want to waste it. I'll save it for another project if I can. And that's our little booklet. So when you open it, you have these pages here that you can write on. Another part of another kind of secret journaling spot, I guess you could say, but it fits perfectly behind our little belly band here. And then there's our ribbon there added to it. So that makes a perfect part of our project. Okay, so now let's go ahead and finish off this project by adding our punching our holes into our paper so that we can add it into the project here. So in order to know where to punch my papers to insert them into the journal, I made myself a little template. So I took some white paper and just edged it up or lined it up next to the prongs of the brads here and made a mark for myself here where I knew I needed to punch the paper so that it could fit in. I usually make a template for myself because otherwise I may not line them up properly or I may not punch the holes properly. So making a template is a really good idea, especially if you're going to be making more than one of these projects for yourself too. You can keep that template and just use it as a guide for future journals that you may do as well. So I evened up my paper, added my template in the middle. Now, one thing you can do to try to make sure your papers are down is you can take a ruler and put the ruler in that middle crease there, add a little pressure and make sure all your papers are down even, like so that they're all lined up properly. And so that's what I've done, and then I added a clip here and a clip here to just secure it together. What I also found in my stash is I found this little board that I got from, I want to say I got it from Dollar Tree. And I pulled it out so that you could see that just by using a little mat board like this, you could use this for your base and punching your holes. So I am just going to set this paper onto this base. I have a little pokey tool that I can use, and then I am just going to put the pokey tool through the paper, apply a little pressure until it comes out on the other side, until I feel it come out on the other side. So that one is done. You can see it's come out through the other side, so I can pull that out. And then I'm just going to do the same thing on the other papers as well. Okay. So all the holes are punched into the paper here, and it is ready to be applied into the base of the journal. Now, what you may notice is that your holes are not as big as the legs of these brads, if that makes sense. The holes are pretty tiny. So sometimes because it is that way, trying to set it on the project and all together in this fashion and just trying to put it through the prongs like this may be a little more difficult to do because they're not exactly the same size. You could certainly take a hole punch. If you have a hole punch that extends out this way, you can take a hole punch and you can apply actual holes into it this way, and that would certainly just slide in and slide out. So that would be a lot easier, of course. I don't have such a tool. I mean, I have a hole punch, but it wouldn't go through the middle at all. It doesn't have that type of an extender on it. So I am going to show you the way I did it. There's probably easier methods of doing this, but I'm going to show you the way I did it. And the way I did it is I removed my clips, removed my template, my holes are in place, and I just took a couple sheets at a time, made sure they were still lined up so that I could see the holes and everything, and then I applied them to the brads like so. So the other thing that you do have to be mindful of is that your legs on the brad do need to be facing vertical, because otherwise, of course, your paper will not fold over if it's not vertical. It will hinder the folding. So you can see now it's trying to poke through like that, and my legs are vertical so that when I lay them down this way, it's easily foldable. So I'm going to do that for the rest of the holes here too. It may take a little finagling, a little work with it, but it will go through. Again, that's why I do a couple pages at a time, because the legs, they are pliable, so they do want to fold if you give too much pressure on them. So you may have to re-straighten them out and then put your paper through. You may have to do just 1 or 2 papers at a time. But if you work with it, being careful not to tear your paper, but just carefully working it through, it will go through for you, and you will be able to get your paper secure on there. So that's the second one, and then here is the last one. And that one went through a little quicker, and then I'll put the other paper through. Okay, so that's the first 2 pages. So I am going to go ahead and do the rest of the pages off camera, because I don't think you want to see me struggling putting paper down like this for the next few minutes. So you do get the concept, the idea. So let me go ahead and add these other papers, and then I'll be right back. So all of our papers are now in, and I will say that do not be afraid. Once you put the papers in, don't be afraid to massage them to go in the direction you want them to go. Like separate the pages and crease them down so that they get used to the direction in which you want them to go. Gently massage them. Of course, not tearing or anything, but just massage them gently in the direction you want them to be on your project. So let's do a final walkthrough so you can see exactly how it looks. So this is the cover. Again, I added another ribbon here and some applique and some little flat flowers onto it. The journal closes by Velcro dots. I added 2 this time instead of 1. And then when you open it up, this is the front cover. Again, we did this secret journaling spot booklet. We did a tag here. I changed out the ribbon because I liked that polka dot pink ribbon. This is the cover page of the signature, and then you flip through and there's all these writing spots. This was our first envelope that we did together, and we put those 2 pockets there, added some tags, more journaling spots. This was a little tuck spot, and I added some more tags here. Added visual interest with the tuck spot there, the collage there, so added that part. More journaling, and these were the pages. This is the center spread here. Didn't touch that, didn't want to add or take away anything, just more pages. This was the other side of that vellum page that we had. This was the other envelope that we did with the 3 pockets. And the 3 journaling cards that we added there. So we put that on a page. This is the back side of more of that colorful paper, the pink paper, the back side, and that's the back of the journal. And then we also did this piece of paper there. We also did this booklet that we fit into the back of the journal where the belly band was. We put that little booklet there, and then it all closes using the Velcro dots. So that's the complete project. Hope you guys like it. Hope you guys will give it a try for yourself. Again, you don't have to make it as chunky as I made mine. I tend to add much more than I really need, and then I have to take away. But the really cool part about this is that if you do decide you need to pull something out, just undo these prongs here and take the paper out and then put back in what paper you want. That's why I really like this project. It's so super cool because it makes it so that the papers are so interchangeable and that they can be replaced at any moment, excuse me, as you see fit. So thanks everyone again for hanging with me. Thanks for spending the time with me. Thanks for your patience throughout the filming of this project. I appreciate you all coming back. I appreciate the beautiful comments that I've had from my video. I so appreciate all of the support. The crafting community has been so supportive to me, and I'm so very thankful for it all. And I appreciate each and every one of you. I try to respond to the comments as much as I can as well. So thank you again for taking the time to even do that, to give comments and constructive criticism and feedback. It's all been great. So thank you all once again for joining me, and I hope to see you again on my crafty channel. Have a wonderful day, everyone.